Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Aquamarine TV. This is Alison Rentoul from Aquamarine Home, and I am interviewing today the lovely Sally Murali from Sugarcane Trading Co. Hi, Sally.
Hi, Alison. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. So I'm really excited to do this interview today with Sally because she's got so much wonderful stuff to tell us about her amazing company. And I'm really curious myself to know more about, how you started and what created the wonderful inspiration behind it. So before we start talking about that, can you just tell everybody quickly a little bit about what you actually do at Sugarcane Trading Co?
Sure. Well, Sugarcane Trading Co is just a little over a year old now, so we're still a baby business. It's owned and run by myself and my brother. I look after the marketing and creative side, and my brother looks after more operations and sales, and he does some of the creative stuff as well. And we mix some stuff, but mostly we've got pretty good separate skill sets, which is nice.
Yeah, I was going to say, sounds like a good division of labour there and a good...
Oh, yeah. The stuff he does, I couldn't bear to do, and he doesn't know his way around Instagram, so it's a good mix.
That's perfect. And so you sell rugs, and what else do you have?
We started with rugs. That was our first product, and really the rugs are what got us into starting the business in the first place. And we always, when we started the business, only wanted to deal with handmade products. So we now have a range of handmade, hand-etched metal lights as well. Within the rugs, we've expanded from our same weaver. We also do floor cushions, couch cushions, storage baskets, and we're just in the process of launching some doormats and table runners as well, and place mats. And there will be some more, and maybe even potentially some wall hangings, woven wall hangings from the textile waste. And we're also starting to get into some kitchen and tableware. We've just recently connected with a artisan group in Panama.
Wow. And
this lady works with a traditional Panamanian rock carver, and he goes into the rivers in the bottom of the volcanoes in Panama and gets the volcanic rock and carves them into mortar and pestles.
Wow.
Yeah, and he only collects the rocks as per the order, and because the lava kind of keeps erupting every so often, it's a sustainable and renewable piece. That's a new one for us, that we're just starting to work with them and figure out the logistics of getting these heavy pieces of volcanic rock over from Panama.
Yes, that could be challenging. Oh, well, that's exciting. I look forward to seeing those when they come out.
Oh, yeah, that's exciting.
So cool. So tell us a little bit then about what you were doing and like how this all came about, this idea for Sugarcane Trading Co.
My background's in marketing, and I was actually, prior to starting the business with my brother, I was in retail consulting and business development for a coffee franchise, and before that for a franchising consultancy in India, and licensing and franchising. Quick 30-second background, if I can keep it to 30 seconds. 2008, I moved to Chennai in the south of India for a 6-month work consulting project for an IT company to help them launch their product internationally. I just before that consultancy project wrapped up, I met a boy. Well, he was a man, and he got a job offer in the north of India in Delhi. Okay. And we just kind of had a spark, and he was leaving, and my consultancy was up. So I went back to Sydney for a few months and furiously looked online for a job in Delhi. Didn't find one, but found a flatmate in Delhi, an Australian girl. So flew over, figured I could fund myself for a few months while I found a job. Found this retail consulting position, which led me to getting a job with an Australian company there. Wow. The boy became my boyfriend, became my fiance, my husband, 2 babies, and 7 years later. So I had 7 years in India after that 6-month initial project. And my brother, and I was just, the whole time I was there, I was just in love with Indian handicrafts and handmade goods and the level of skill and beauty in some of these products. And I always dabbled in the idea of selling some of this stuff over, back in Australia. And Tim, my brother, had come over to look for some products for a outdoor gardening business that he had at the time.
Okay.
And we were literally going down a road and made a wrong turn and saw these rug displays and literally stopped the car and said, we've got to have a look at these. Then we found out from the weavers that they were made from textile waste.
I love
and
it.
we just
Goosebumps.
Yeah, I still get goosebumps when I tell the story. And we just fell in love with them and we're like, why don't we start a rug business? And we went to visit the artisan community where they weave them to see how it was all made and how it worked. And obviously it took a while to get it from the first visit of the rugs to a business. And we'd always kind of toyed with the idea of starting a business, a brother-sister business. So that was way longer than 30 seconds. But
that's so cool.
That's how it started.
You know, the all of the wonderful sort of seemingly disconnected things, but that were all magically connected to actually on this path.
Yeah.
I love it.
And so I guess as a personal note too, I had always wanted to have my own business for when I had kids. I knew that I would have loved to still have employment and have a job, but have it on my own terms. So running a business that I could decide when I pick them up and drop them off at school and stuff was kind of something I'd always desired as well. So that was another piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, wow, that's so exciting. So how long ago was that?
So I think we initially saw the rugs must have been 2014.
Right.
Because my little girl then was under 1. And so I think it took us a year to kind of figure out how to import them and set everything up. And then my husband and my youngest baby was 7 weeks old. We moved over to Sydney. So my husband immigrated essentially. Yeah. And then the first year for me was a bit of a blur with the 2 babies. Yeah. So we really officially launched the business at Life and Style in Sydney, February 2017 was when we really got our act together and, started running it like a real business.
And what was the reception like when you launched?
Amazing, actually. I think people love the rugs, but when they look at them and you tell them that they're made from the offcuts of textile production, it just adds that extra element. And to us, that was the most important thing, especially living in India and seeing how less people have in their lives. It really makes you think that just to be able to have the luxury of buying homewares is amazing. And we have so much abundance of things in the world. To create a beautiful item from something that was just going to end up buried in the land is that extra special. So
yeah, that's so true. And I really just I love that whole thing of it's similar to what we're trying to do at Aquamarine, and obviously we stock your rugs because we love them, but it is that beautiful thing of seeing the sort of way people's eyes light up when they see a beautiful object, but then you also tell them about its beautiful story and and how much more they can love the thing because it actually is meaningful and it's doing good in the world. As well as looking good.
I think it's on a purely aesthetical point, it's the only way in those blue and white rugs you get those different hues in the blue from all the different shades of denim, and you just can't replicate that with fresh material. So it's something that it's quite special.
Yeah, and why would you want to? Wow, so that's just such a cool story, and I love hearing about how you actually came up with the idea and everything. I'm sure it's been a challenging journey this far to resolve all the logistics of everything and all that kind of thing. Did you find it difficult to sort of actually set up with the workshop, with the guys that are making the rugs, guys and women? I don't know, like, is it mostly men, is it mostly women, is it mixture?
It's funny, what we've learnt now from working with these artisans throughout India, there's different kind of weaving and rug hubs, and where our rugs are manufactured, it's only male weavers. Okay. The women do all the finishing and the threading, but there are other communities that the women do the weaving as well. Right. And our looms are on vertical looms, and it seems that a lot of the horizontal looms that are more female weavers.
Okay.
But I think any business in any industry ever is challenging, and if it's not one challenge, it's something else. So we've definitely had our challenges, and it's always a challenge to balance out wanting to support our weaving communities and help them prosper, as well as get a product that's up to a standard in the Australian market, that's got the quality and the consistency and the colour matching and things like that. So we're constantly working together to work that out, and we would never say anything's a problem, it's just a challenge.
That's right.
Part of the journey.
Yeah, something to overcome.
And I do, luckily my husband does speak a couple of the local languages, so if things really get tough, I can put him on the phone, and it's normally just a miscommunication.
Yeah, well, that must be very helpful as well.
Yeah.
And so you guys actually were shortlisted for an award this year as well, weren't you?
We were finalists in the Life and Style and Read Gala Awards in the Eco category. So that was amazing. We're really excited for that. We didn't take up the grand prize, but we were just, to be nominated was amazing, our first year of business, and a really cool product one that does little seedling packages for homegrown plants and pots and stuff. So an awesome brand one. All the finalists were great, but to be finalists in recognising our eco background was awesome.
Yeah, that is such a great achievement in 1 year of trading. That's just brilliant.
Yeah, that.
And so have you always been interested in sustainability and stuff like that, or was it just that you saw these rugs and you thought they were beautiful and then you were like,
I think I've always been aware of the environment, I think, and making sure that I'm always leaving the lightest footprint. I think living in India for 7 years heightened that, when you see how people live, and they just India in general as a culture do not waste. Everything's either recycled, reused, and the innovativeness in how they just repurpose everything was quite inspiring to me, and made me realise how much we do waste in the West. And I think moving back to Australia, and as I get maybe a bit older and more set in my ways, just so aware of just how much we waste and how much we over consume. And I'm quite passionate about it now, and my husband and I have a very personal philosophy in our daily lives to just try and consume as least as possible. I mean, in India, they turn the shower off when you put your soap on, you turn the shower off, you lather up, you turn the water back on, where we just have the tap running the whole time. Little things like that you don't think about. So the more I get involved in sustainability and the more you learn about it, it's kind of like a never-ending journey of how you can keep reducing waste and reducing your footprint. And we're only just now really, all the pieces of our business, like we're just looking at how we can get sustainable packaging and branding. We've got so many more things we want to build in our business in that area.
Oh, that's so cool. And it really is a kind of thing of, once your eyes have been opened, you can't unsee. You see it everywhere then.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's great that you're looking into ways that you can become even more ethical and even more sustainable.
It's an ongoing journey, I think, and I don't think it'll ever end.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I hear you. We're certainly on that journey together.
Great to connect with people like Aquamarine and the same tribe doing on the same journey. It's always heartwarming to find a fellow.
Yeah, I know. I love it. That's one of the things I love so much about what I'm doing now, and why I started doing this series of interviews as well, because I really want to know more about all these amazing people that I'm meeting. And I thought, well, if I'm this excited and interested, probably there's going to be other people that'll be interested to know more about these inspiring people as well. So yeah, so I thought, why not record these conversations, and then everyone can hear about it too. So where does the actual waste come from that they're making the rugs out of?
So there's a mini industry in India, I think, not just for textile waste, but for any type of waste. There's so our waste comes from garment manufacturing. Yes. So any shirt, jeans, anything that gets produced, there's always strips of waste. And even all other industries in India, there are people that they try not to waste anything, because everything can be repurposed. So there's people that buy the garment waste, and then our weaver communities, they buy that at a nominal price, and they stockpile it for what colorways we want and things like that. But there's a little actual mini industry of repurposing this textile waste.
Wow. I mean, it must take ages to sort out all the different colors as well and put them.
It does. That's why the denim ones are quite good, because you can just go with the shades of blue. But when we're working on different colorways, it takes a while. But we're going to start using, just for some products specifically, sari waste.
Oh,
which is, we'll get much bigger blocks of colour in some of the block coloured saris, which will be nice for some. We've got some specific kind of colourways we want to work with some products that we're finding it hard to match with a lot of the textile waste. So that'll be fun to see, and it'll be a slightly different material.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that would be gorgeous. Because just for the listeners, we only stock the coastal kind of coloured ones, the blue and white ones. But Sugarcane Trading Co. have lots of really colourful things as well. So if you want to check them out, you can go to their website and see all the other things that they make too. Wow. So apart from volcanic mortar and pestle bowls and things like that, what else is on the horizon for you guys?
We're not even sure. We just know that we're just at the beginning. So we were planning we've always got trips in the works to India, but the next trip we're going to go and maybe source some we want to stay within kind of homewares and things for the home. We're not going to go into fashion or anything like that. Our interest is in the homewares, but we're open to, we've seen a few things in our journeys that we want to explore, but it's really important to us that the products are handmade from scratch throughout the whole way, that the groups we're working with are well looked after, paid well, have good working conditions, and are normally managed by a co-op or some other type of organisation that's run ethically. So sky's the limit for us, and we'd like to explore more things with upcycled materials, obviously, of course.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And how do you actually, have you been able to measure the impact that you guys have had in the community, or in terms of how much waste you've been able to reduce going into landfill and stuff?
Yeah, we're working on that. I don't have a figure right now, but it's definitely something that we are very keen to measure, because we've only really been going for a year, and we've had we're just slowly building up. We haven't got strong metrics on that, but we've also got a trust that we've registered in India, where a percentage of all our sales go into that trust, and we've been consulting with the weaver communities on how because it's to go back to our weavers, how they would like to best see those funds used. And what they've communicated to us mainly is their children's education.
Oh, lovely.
So we've got another trip planned to India, hopefully before the end of this year, where we'll be kind of rolling that out and getting some more measurables in place. So watch this space, and we'll be updating that on our website. And in terms of the waste we've saved, we're still trying to put those numbers together, but it's on our to-do list. So great question.
It must be a huge amount, I would have thought. Yeah, which is really exciting.
It's a jeans for sure. So.
Yeah, at least. You should measure it in, in Kardashian jeans or something.
Don't want to use that word on my website. So
how many Kardashian wardrobes worth of material waste have you saved? So with the trust, that's really exciting, and we've paired your products as well, because we pair everything with a buy one give one project.
Yes.
So we've also connected education for disadvantaged children in India with your products too. So you're sort of paying it forward on that end, and we're paying it forward on the other end as well, which is really nice.
It's the way it should be, really. So everybody gets better off in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's really our philosophy here too, is that the whole kind of chain all the way along, it should be a win-win for everybody, including the planet.
Yeah, that's the way to consume. It should be the only way to consume these days, I think.
Absolutely. Oh, well, Sally, it's just been really lovely chatting with you, and so interesting to find out more about your wonderful business, and another person who's proving that you can create commerce for good and, you know, do good with business. And I really believe that so strongly, that, you know, it's all about trade, not aid, and helping people to build profitable enterprises that are, you know, profiting everybody, including our planet. So really lovely to chat with you. Thank you.
Alison, always great to speak with a like-minded soul. It's been lovely chatting with you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. And say hi to Tim from me.
I will. I'll give him a buzz right now.
Thanks. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.